Alright, gang, welcome back to our Skyefin Aquafarm series here on Kinlaig. It is July, rain is in the forecast yet again, and we're heading down to the shop to pick up some more fish food, our normal process that we do here. And today, really, the main things we're going to be doing today are trying to get these fields prepped and ready to go for the next drilling. Obviously, the worker here is still working on completing this field. We do have to do the other large field over there, way back there in the distance. As a matter of fact, this field over here actually is still ready to harvest, which I'm actually surprised about. I thought it would have been gone, but I mean, maybe there's a chance we buy this today. We need 100 grand here, a little over 100 grand. We do have some fish that are ready to sell, I think. I'm not sure how much of them, but we do have some fish, I think, that are ready to sell, so we could potentially do that. I turned off, by the way, the distributing of all of the fish for the time being. I just have them on storing right now. We're going to keep them on storing for a little while just because it has finally started to drop off on the fish food that is in our offshore aquafarm there, right? Or offshore aquaculture there. We don't have any more fish food. We're not going to put any more fish food in there. We want to move that, as we talked about, right? So we want to sell that and move it. And we're going to lose a little bit of our profit there, or our yield, or our fish, or whatever, however you want to word it. We are going to lose a little bit in that process, but I think it's for the best. I just really don't like utilizing that crane, and everything else is a little dicey. Let's put it that way. Otherwise, everything's in good shape, man. Our soybean field over here to the left is in great shape. The canola's in great shape. Everything's good. I don't know what Walter White here is doing. Weirdo. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing well. Things are good, man. Things are good. We're cruising along. If you remember, because you're going to see this early, real quick, you might have noticed for a brief second that there was a video that was released. Well, I don't know when this is actually going to be uploaded. Maybe the day before, maybe the same day. I don't know. But anyway, there you probably really noticed there was a video that was released for a brief moment. Vanilla Survival series, specifically. And yesterday's episode, as a matter of fact, I think I have my timing right. Anyway, it was up for a brief moment. So a song that I've been utilizing directly from YouTube's music creator group, which is supposed to have a free license on it for life, all of a sudden randomly decided, nope, we're not free anymore, and you've got a copyright strike on it. So I had to take it down and re-edit it. So that's the reason why. I don't know. I think only maybe 1 or 2 people actually started watching it before that occurred. So that's the reason why that happened. Was not my intention or my goal. I just was not expecting to get a copyright strike. So that's actually one of the first times I've had that happen. I've had it happen before, utilizing some songs that I probably shouldn't. I was just trying to utilize them in a smaller capacity, if you will. So that does take away a good chunk of our money right there, right? 191,000 is what we have now. We are going to have to probably consider buying another forklift, too. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, really, it's going to be a temporary period of time that those fish, the young trout and salmon, are just storing, right? It's going to be just a brief period, and then we'll put them back on distributing again once we get our new agriculture set up and get rid of the other one. We just don't want fish going into that one right now because we don't want to, as much as possible, we don't want to waste any money. And sending them fish there when we don't have probably enough fish food to accomplish what we need, that's obviously not going to work for us, right? So we just got to be a little more cognizant of that. Whoops, did not have the forks down. A little more cognizant of that as we move along, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So rain is in the forecast once again today. It's been a very, very rainy season. And the worker says they completed their task, but I know that they've missed bits. They're not the best, unfortunately, at... They're not the best at doing the plowing, really. They're really not. And I think it has to do with the plow. I think I've talked about that in the past. I think it really does have to do with the plow. So maybe if I went into the actual menu and changed, the width or whatever that it says it's going to be doing. Maybe I make it a little bit smaller, and then maybe they would actually hit some of those spots, but it's not a big deal. We can go, whoop, I almost flipped it again. We can go back through and touch that up, and like I said, we've got to do the other big field today anyway. So we'll take a look, though, at the adult fish that we do have that are spawning. Obviously, the Aquafarm, we just have those on auto-selling right now just because we don't really want to worry about that. Since we're going to be moving it anyway, we just want them to just, sell everything as much as possible. But we can look at the other ones. I don't know how many actually we have. I don't know how much money it will actually make us. The price should still be decent. So we'll look at that. Normally the price for those aren't really bad until the winter months for whatever reason. But let's get all this stuff transferred over here to all these different lakes, and then we'll transfer it obviously down there to the Aquafarm. Just so we can make sure we keep that going. But as you can tell, there's clearly little bits missed. Not much, though. Actually, they did a relatively decent job. I can't really complain too much there. All right, looks like we have maxed this out. We have, which I actually did not expect that to happen. I don't really have an easy way to get these things off here. We really want to put those and just kind of leave them here. I really don't want to carry them along. I guess what I could consider doing, though, which we hadn't considered until just now, was putting down another lake. Since we have this harvested, we could do one more here. Well, really, we could do probably two more here. Would cut into this field, but it's an option, right? It's an option. I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to. We're gonna have that offshore aquafarm anyway, and that's really going to do a lot for us. So I don't think we need to. Let me see if I can just kind of push these along with this. I don't know if it's going to let me. It does look like it's working a little bit. And it just accepted a couple of those too. So yeah, this is going to work. Not the most elegant thing you've ever seen in the world, but you know, if it works, who cares? All right, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so these are young salmon. All of these are young salmon. I don't think... I mean, I guess we could go sell the young salmon right now. I mean, that would produce a little bit more money for us. And like I said, maybe even give us the chance to buy this field. A lot of you said we should buy this field. Let's see. Fish, let's see. What's our price looking like here? We've got barley as well that we could, if we absolutely had to, sell. Same with the straw. Worst time to sell them, but, you know, but if we wanted to, we could. Speaking of that, when we re-drill these fields, I don't think I'm going to be doing any kind of a cereal crop, no barley or wheat or anything like that. I think we're going to do canola and soybeans only, because I think we have plenty of flour for our fish factory. I mean, just real quick, I'll just show you. I mean, we've got 52,000, it only holds 80,000. We're going to get way more than that to put in there. So I think we're going to be okay. Let's see. Young salmon, actually, it's the best time to sell them right now. So we 1,000% should be selling this stuff right now. Yes, we will. Okay, all right. So we're gonna sell. We're gonna sell the young ones even too, because you know what? We're not gonna be doing anything with these for a little while anyway. So we might as well get our money right now. It's not gonna be as good as if they were adults, but okay. Can you please? Thank you. But you know what? It doesn't matter. going to push this forward a little bit. I don't know why we're seeing a little bit of glitching here all of a sudden. This is the first time I've actually experienced this from my perspective. It doesn't normally happen too much. Well, maybe it's something to do with this trailer, maybe? I don't know. So I talked about this briefly. I think it was yesterday's episode. If it wasn't, it was a recent Vanilla Survival series episode about, you know, what are we going to do when the one-tile challenge is over. It's not going to be over anytime soon, but when it is over, what are we going to do? Well, there's been a lot of ideas. Chris2 came up with a pretty unique, interesting idea. I think it needs a little bit more work to hash out exactly how it would work, so I'm not sure if we will do that or not. But if we decide not to, I mean, I would love to, with both of them, or at least one of them, or whoever, I would love just to run kind of a very basic competitive multiplayer, if you will. No loans, but pretty much everything else is up for grabs. You can lease if you want to. You start with the same 5 or 6 pieces of equipment. You start with the same exact acreage of land, and you just go. You figure out your own way to try to succeed and win, right? I would like to do that. I think that would be fun. We haven't really done that yet. So we'll see. I did pose that idea to the guys. I haven't really heard back from them yet at the time of this recording. But we'll see, right? I mean, obviously, we're just, you know, we're trying to think in the future here because it's going to be a while before that happens, right? Like I mentioned, it really is. It's going to be a while. But, you know, I think it's always good to try to plan things out early so that way, you know, you can try to make sure that everything you're wanting to do actually works out and it, you know, it makes sense and all that good stuff, right? And you're not rushing to get something out the door just because you need something, right? So I don't know, you know, I don't think we're going to get a ton of money here. I mean, adult trout is not worth nearly as much as adult salmon, right? So don't expect it to be an outrageous amount of money, but it's $4,359 a pallet there. So, I mean, we're going to get good money. We've got 2 more, I think, over here to pick up. Yeah, 2 more to pick up. And technically, we could, which actually I should probably look at that. Actually, let's do that right now. We might, I mean, we could sell some of the flour, too, if we really wanted to. There is still room in there for them to continue to make flour, so we're okay right now. I was going to say, let's see if we need to move some of those out of the way. Speaking of that, we talked about the flour, and really I want to put most of that into the fish food factory, but, you know, whatever's left over, we could just go and sell it, right? So if we can kind of figure that out, it's the worst time to sell flour. So never mind, scratch that completely out of your mind. I never said it. So the answer is that we are not going to get to where we need to be able to buy that field today, which is unfortunate, but, you know, it's okay. It's all right. Like I said, I don't think we specifically need it. It would be nice to have it because it would produce a hell of a lot of money for us. You are all correct in that statement. But, yeah, doesn't look like we're going to be able to accomplish that, unfortunately, which is too bad, but... Almost flipped the thing. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come up here, we're going to go and we're going to sell this stuff, which is some... Why do we have a square bale? Why does that say we have a square bale on there? Was that always there and I just now noticed it? Maybe it was. I don't know. Now, I guess one way we could go about, you know, buying that field is if we were to sell the barge, the boat. Technically, though, that was a part of the objectives here, right? Was we have to get everything that's required. Now, just because we have everything doesn't necessarily mean we have to use it, right? You know, we could bypass that a little bit by, you know, saying, well, we decided to move it on the edge of the barge just to make our life a little bit easier, so we don't really need the barge. It's just going to sit there and take up space and waste money. But I'm not quite sure I just want to sell it, though, either, because that just doesn't feel like I'm completing what I set out to do. I mean, I guess I did, right? Because I did get the money to buy it, right? And when we do sell it, we're going to lose a little bit of money, right? So I guess, in theory, I did. So I guess it doesn't really make that big of a difference, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. It just seems... I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to get rid of it when that was really one of the main objectives, you know, was to be completely self-sufficient. And really, if we wanted to be self-sufficient, even though we're kind of bending the rule a bit by just putting it at the end of the barge there, or the end of the pier there, excuse me, you know, was to have the barge. So, I don't know. I guess it's something we got to think about. Don't have the answer to it right now. I guess between now and the next episode, I can figure that out. And if I decide to sell this barge, I decide to sell the barge, and then maybe we buy that field. Maybe we do another episode here in July and harvest that field, right? But I keep going back to what I was just talking about and the fact of, you know, we don't really need that much flour. So if we were to do it, we were doing it simply and purely just for money. And I'm not quite sure that's really... I mean, we have $191,000. We really have plenty of money, right? So I'm not quite sure that... If you think of it in that sense, not in the sense of I'm just trying to make as much money as I can, but if you think of it in that sense, not sure it really makes... I'm not sure it really makes a whole lot of sense to me to do it. Since we do have plenty of money, right? We could really buy literally anything we wanted to. Well, okay, take that back. Not anything we wanted to, but we really could buy, within reason, anything that we would ever need or want for the rest of this series right now. With $200,000, about to be probably $230,000, $240,000, right? So... that's where I'm at least right now. So that's kind of why I'm not, you know, going for it. If we were able to get it with the, you know, the money of selling the fish, that's one thing. That's absolutely a different thing, right? But just selling the barge, which was part of the actual end goal, just so we can get that, even if I'm not going to use it, something just doesn't sit right there with me. And it's probably just me, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Speaking of this, that railroad track is still having that invisible issue, whatever. I'm sure you saw it. It just put me to a dead stop. So I'm going to set the worker off on doing this field now while we go and sell the fish. And we're going to have to do a lot of this ourselves, but, you know, let's just say the working weight is 5.9. Let's try that and see what happens. I don't know if it's going to make it any better or not, but we'll set the worker on doing this at least for a little while, and that'll help us a bit, right? We'll get some of it done for us. Well, if this isn't the poster child for having a larger tractor, I don't know what is. You can clearly tell the difference of how fast we've been able to plow this field up utilizing this tractor versus my beloved Case, right? This has been a night and day difference with how fast we were able to get this done. So, yeah, there you go, right? That's the reason why you get a bigger tractor, right there. That's the reason. So we got one more pass here to do, and then there's a tiny little miss that I had over there, a little touch-up miss, but that's kind of on the way back anyway, so that's going to work out for us. We got a hell of a lot more money than I actually anticipated getting, or a heck of a lot more money than I anticipated getting from selling all that fish. We actually are almost there. It almost makes me want to attempt to get that last tiny bit so we can buy that field. Having the full understanding of everything that I just discussed, it would make us a lot of money, though, right? It would, and that's a huge, huge field. We do need $23,000, though. It's a lot of money to make up somehow. We're making a tiny, tiny smidge every hour here with whatever's auto-selling on the offshore aqua farm, but other than that, you know, we're still a pretty far ways off, so I'm not sure it's actually going to happen or not, gang. We'll have to see if we can think of anything else or find anything else potentially that will be able to get us there here. I'm not quite sure we're going to be able to. Obviously, we could sell some of the flour. Maybe there's some more pallets of fish that we could potentially go sell, but again, those are, you know, is the trip worth it all the way there to sell it? Maybe. It depends on how many, I guess, has spawned, but the odds are probably not. And even so, the odds are we're probably not going to have enough of them to even get us there if we do have some. None of the adult ones have spawned, which is really where the big money's at, right? So it's basically the flour or potentially selling the sprayer here. But, you know, again, with the sprayer, maybe we could do a spraying contract, maybe. But that still isn't going to get us there, right? That's only 3 and 2,000, so that's not going to get us there. Nothing in here is going to get us there unless we did all of these, and that would take an eternity, so we're not going to do that. So I guess the only thing really for us to do is to jump down here and see exactly how many have spawned. I expect not many, if any. None. None have. So, yeah, gang, unfortunately, as much as it would be great to have that, I just don't think it's in the cards for us. At least not this time around, and I'm not sure if there will be another time around or not. I guess we'll figure that out, but we got both fields plowed up. We made a lot of money today. We got everything, you know, kind of topped back up with the fish as well. Things are looking good, man. So we're going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like, subscribe button on the case if you yet to do so. They are free to do. They help me out an absolute ton. Thanks to my members. I cannot thank them enough for all their continued support, many of which have been around for multiple years now. Cannot thank each and every single one of you enough. There is a link down below in the description if you are interested in becoming a member. You do get early access to videos like this one, including the competitive one-tile challenge. My Discord's down there. My second channel is down there. Everything you need, as always, as I always mention, is down there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. And we'll see you next time.